Uzbekistan is the heart of Central Asia, where the sun shines 320 days a year and people work in harmony with nature. Uzbekistan has a harsh climate, where heat and drought are quite common. However, it is here that solutions that change the future are created. We fight desertification, dust storms, and water loss. We create forests where there used to be desert and find energy where there used to be sand. Today, Uzbekistan is a country that turns climate challenges into a source of strength, innovation, and hope. Uzbekistan has long faced the challenge of sustaining economic growth and developing energy and other industries, including oil and gas, without destroying nature or exacerbating the climate crisis. Thousands of people and hundreds of companies are working together with government agencies to achieve this balance.
Uzbekneftegaz is actively implementing climate initiatives aimed at reducing emissions and protecting the environment. In 2025, we successfully completed the first phase of the LDAR project, which reduced emissions by 337,000 tons of CO2 equivalent. Now, we are launching phase 2, a large-scale expansion covering all our facilities, from wells and gas treatment units to major processing plants. The project is carried out together with our European partners, ICA Finance and VEMA SA, ensuring global expertise and compliance with international standards. Altogether, both LDAR phases will achieve emission reductions comparable to the annual output of 500,000 cars. Our strategic goal is to reach OGMP to 0 level 5, aligning with the world's best practices in methane management. Beyond methane, we are developing water treatment and energy efficiency projects, as well as large-scale tree planting programs supporting green initiatives. For us, there are not just corporate commitments, there are contributions to Uzbekistan's sustainable future and to global climate action.
All large-scale transformations, from ambitious greening projects to the introduction of green energy, are being implemented under the supervision and direct support of Uzbekistan's president, Shavkat Mirziyoyev. His policies set a strategic course for sustainable development for future generations. The country's oil and gas sector remains an important part of the economy. Gas and oil production provides energy and heat to cities, industry, and transport. It is in these sectors that there is great potential for the extraction of hydrocarbons and their purification from emissions, reduction of leaks, and introduction of technologies that preserve air, water, and land. Today, Uzbekistan is building a new climate architecture. In the summer of 2025, the law of the Republic of Uzbekistan on the limitation of greenhouse gas emissions was adopted, which became the first legislative basis for national climate policy in the country's history. This law regulates mechanisms for reducing emissions, the creation of a national carbon registry, a quota trading system, and support for projects aimed at decarbonization. It brought together the efforts of the state, business, and international partners, and laid the foundation for sustainable and transparent development, where economic growth goes hand in hand with environmental protection. Today, Uzbekistan is focusing on green recovery. In an arid climate, greening is not just an environmental project, but a matter of survival. Forests protect against erosion, provide a source of moisture, act as a barrier against dust storms, and guarantee the future of agriculture and human health. Hundreds of millions of trees and shrubs are planted annually as part of the national Yashil Makan Green Space program. In spring and autumn, mass greening campaigns are held throughout the country, in cities, towns, along roads, canals, and industrial areas. New green belts are created around populated areas to lower air temperatures, improve the microclimate, and protect the soil from erosion. However, in a country where every drop of water is worth its weight in gold, planting does not necessarily mean growing. To help trees take root, modern irrigation systems are being developed. New wells are being drilled, drip lines are being installed, and projects are being developed to purify formation water. which is treated at oil and gas facilities and sent for technical irrigation. Thus, what was once considered waste is now becoming a resource that brings life back to the land. New ecosystems are being created on the former bed of the Aral Sea. Drought-resistant forests of Saxol, tamarisk, saltbush, and other adapted species. Tens of thousands of hectares have already been planted, and the area of green cover is growing every year.
We are consistently continuing our work to restore the Aral Sea ecosystem.
By 2030, Uzbekistan intends to increase the country's forest cover to 6.1 million hectares and restore degraded lands, including desert and saline areas. This is not just an eco-project, it is a national mission, where nature once again becomes an ally, and humans become guardians rather than consumers. Energy industry is the heart of the economy. Today, Uzbekistan is undergoing a major transformation, from a traditional model based on gas and coal to a new, clean, and sustainable system where the sun, wind, and water are becoming the main sources of energy. Yes, natural gas and oil still play an important role, ensuring stability, industry, and exports. But the country is already focusing on renewable energy sources, forming a new energy balance. By 2030, the share of renewable energy sources in total power generation should exceed 50%. Solar power plants are being built in different regions of the country, wind farms are being constructed, and small hydroelectric power plants are being developed. Such projects are already changing the energy map of Uzbekistan. Future plans include large-scale reconstruction and modernization of the main power grids. Old power lines will be gradually replaced with modern, more reliable, and energy-efficient ones, capable of transmitting more power with minimal losses. At the same time, there are plans to build thousands of kilometers of new power lines that will connect new solar and wind power plants with industrial centers and remote regions. This infrastructure will form the basis for a stable and sustainable power supply throughout the country, from the desert regions of Karakalpakstan to the mountainous areas of the Tashkent region. Along with greening and developing renewable energy sources, Uzbekistan is actively implementing measures to control and reduce emissions in the oil and gas sector. This industry, which is the backbone of the country's economy, is also becoming a field for environmental innovation. All of the country's leading companies, Uzbekneftegaz, Uztransgaz, Saneg, and Hududgaz, are in the process of implementing programs to identify and eliminate methane leaks, LDAR, close flares, and capture methane vapors from oil and gas storage tanks. These measures not only reduce emissions, but also return valuable energy resources that used to be lost to the atmosphere back into production.
Saneg is a pioneer for the climate initiatives in Central Asia. We have implemented the world's first register project using the AM0122 methodology. It's a gas collection system and an air separation unit. Instead of releasing the methane into the atmosphere, the gas is burned under the controlled condition, reducing its climate impact. In 2025, we successfully verified 2 flare gas utilization projects and completed the third one. We have built more than 70 kilometers of gas pipeline, installed 21 compressors units, and eliminated 6 large flares. Gas that was previously burned off is now being used efficiently, converted into the energy. This reduced emission by 10,000 tons of CO2 equivalent per year. We are particularly proud of the LDAR project, which aimed to find to eliminate methane leaks for the first time in Central Asia. A regular monitoring system that meets international standards has been created. Today, Saneg's climate project enables the reduction of up to 385,000 tons of CO2, equivalent emission per year, which is the amount produced by 84,000 cars. Our philosophy is to inspire change. What looks like innovation today will become the standard tomorrow.
Together with international partners, the World Bank, VEMA SA, ICA Finance, and other organizations, Projects are being implemented that are taking Uzbekistan to a new level of climate responsibility. The main goal is to achieve OGMP 2.0 Level 5, the highest international standard of transparency and accuracy in methane emissions reporting, established by the UN and the European Commission. Thanks to these efforts, thousands of tons of methane are already being prevented from entering the atmosphere each year. In the future, this will not only improve the environmental situation, but also create a basis for monetizing emission reductions through international carbon mechanisms, including programs under the Paris Agreement. Uzbekistan is reducing its own emissions by becoming part of a global system where every kilogram of methane saved is a step towards slowing global warming. Uzbekistan is a country where deserts and forests, oil and sun meet on the same horizon. Here, ancient traditions are combined with the most modern technologies, and the energy of the earth is transformed into the energy of the future. We know the price of climate challenges. We have seen our sea dry up. We see the wind raise dust above the former shores of the Aral Sea. And that is why today we are choosing a different path. The path of restoration, the path of respect for nature, the path of sustainable growth. We plant trees on the dried up seabed, purify water and bring it back to life, capture methane, build solar stations, modernize power grids, and introduce clean technologies into industry. And when the world talks about green energy, forest conservation, and combating drought, we can say with confidence, Uzbekistan is following this path. Boldly, decisively, with faith in our own strength and in the power of nature.